Hello, everybody. It's Clef from Punchboard Paradise. Happy New Year. And guess what it's time for? It's time now to give you my top 100 games of all time. Now, every year, my co-hosts on the podcast, Punchboard Paradise, Chad and Richie, we always do our new kind of where we're at with our top, usually 20, 25-ish or so in there, which we are going to do again this year. We're going to release our top 20, 25 of all time on the podcast. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to come through and do my top 100 of all time, kind of throwing them here a little bit in the good old video form. I'll still put my top games of all time on the video also. Just that will come out after the podcast comes out. So if you're not familiar, my name, like I said, is Clef. I'm in a podcast called Punchboard Paradise. We've been doing it for over 5 years, and we really enjoy talking about board games. And obviously, what's more fun than talking about your top games of all time? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, as a gamer, I have changed so much since when I first started getting into gaming, which I think is just a natural thing. Some people will continue to like the same games. Some people will kind of switch and try some new stuff and maybe like some new stuff. And I'm definitely one of those who, over time, I've kind of moved into maybe a different type of gamer than I used to be. That's just who I am. I'm going to give you my games. I'll give you some of the reasons. Some games that, used to be maybe really high in my top 10 maybe aren't so much there anymore. Some games that maybe used to be in my top 100 aren't there anymore because new games have jumped in and taken those spots. But anyways, without a further ado, I'm now ready to get rolling. And okay, what's the question always everybody wonders? Hey, your top 100. What was 101? What just missed the cut? So I'm going to give you a little bonus. Let's throw in 101. And that's because it's a game that I actually really think is a cool game, and that's America. Now, a lot of people maybe haven't heard of this one here. It's kind of a trivia party game called America. They did another one that it was like, I think, The World or something. I can't remember exactly what that was called, but I really like this one. For those of you who don't know, I live in America. I live in good old Omaha, Nebraska. And this game I enjoy. It is one of those party games where you don't have to always know the answers. In fact, a lot of times you don't have a clue what the answers are. You're just trying to make your best guess at it. And you'll have different things that will be like, for one thing, it'll be like, what state was this in? And then you got to pick a state. And then it's what year was it potentially in? And then it will usually have some sort of a number. But here's the thing is you can bet on either somebody's completely wrong or maybe just go right where they're at or near them. You don't always have to know the answer to still score points in this game. And I think it's just a fun little game. It shows you some great trivia. It's just a lot of fun. So if you like party games and this one sounds interesting, give it a shot because I really do like it. So that was 101. A little bit of a cheat, but hey, you get a little bonus right there. So now into the top 100. So my number 100th game of all time. Now you'll say, I can't believe this game's on your list, Clef. And I can't believe this game's on my list. It has a lot to do with the love of my life, my beautiful wife, who loves this game and is one of her top favorite games. And so I'll play it, mostly because she enjoys it. But you know what? I secretly kind of like it. It's fun. It's enjoyable. And you know what? You don't have to be a great drawer to do this game. Not like some games where you have to draw. And that's How Do You Doodle? How Do You Doodle? Fun little party game. I know I'm starting off with some kind of party games. Believe me, I'll get much deeper here soon. But a couple party games. This one here, you have 3 different words that all are similar in meaning. Like, for instance, you might have, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. But anyways, 3 words that are very similar in meaning. And each person will get secretly one of those 3 words. And you have to kind of make a drawing, getting people to know that your word is your word as opposed to one of the other 2 words. But really, it's all about looking at these funny drawings. You only have like 30 seconds to draw it. So you're really quick, and then you're picking whose is what. And you're like, what is that? Loads of fun. I always enjoy when I play this game. So throwing it in there, big shout out to my wife, who I love right here. How Do I Doodle? So number 100. So number 99 is a game that I just got to play for the first time like a couple of days ago. And will this game move up on the list? I can't imagine it not. But at this moment, it's one of those, like, I had to get it on the list because I just played it once, but I need some more time to really soak in where it will go and play it some more times. And it's not a short game, and it's a brand new game from GMT, and that is called Downfall. I love how I just went from, how do I doodle to Downfall. But what a great game. This is a 2-player only, and it is going to be where you are controlling, one faction controls the Western forces in World War II, and one faction controls the Soviets in World War II. And then both of you control each part of the axis, the Eastern axis and the Western axis, and you're trying to stop each other from gaining key points, which are kind of victory points that they gain throughout the game. Amazing, amazing. The only minor thing that I'm going to give it a knock on is you need a long time to play this. I mean, a friend of mine and I played this the other day, and it took us, a learning game, but it took us 8 hours to play, basically a turn and a half. And that's partly because it's a learning game, but that's, it's not going to be easy to get to the table. It's almost one of these that it's better if you kind of set it up, play a little bit, then come back another day, play it a little bit, if you're able to just kind of leave it out. But anyways, great game. I'm looking forward to more plays of it. That's going to be Downfall. Yes, my number 99. So ready for number 98. And that is going to be another new game that I just found this year. And I actually played this just recently here, and I'm almost like ready to bump it up even more because I really like this game. And this is Robotech Reconstruction. So this is from, these guys are always so Strange Machine Games. And what a fun little game. This is a kind of a take on a coin game system. And if you're not familiar with coin game, it's kind of where you have 4 different factions and each one of them has a different way to win. And that's exactly what this is. Now, I'm not real huge on this IP. I didn't watch Robotech. I don't have any clues about it, but it doesn't matter because it's a good game. It's very interesting on how each faction does have different things that they can do, and each has a different way that they're going to win, and each one of those is going to be kind of counteracted by the other faction. So, and you can play this in a quick time. You can play this game usually in about, I'd say like an hour, maybe hour and a half, tops, and that's even kind of learning the game. So if you've ever thought, I'm interested in a coin game, but gosh, it just seems too long, seems too complicated, I would really say this is a great place to start. And yeah, it's going to be my number 98. That's Robo Reconstruction. All right, so getting into number 97. And sometimes you got nostalgia games that still hit your list because you're like, you know what? That game has given me joy throughout time, and it's a strange one. And probably most of you, I bet you've never even heard of this game because it's an old Mayfair game, and it's called Journey to the Center of the Earth. Yeah, like what? So this one is one that I'll give you a little bit of background on the fact that this is the first game that I ever bought at Gen Con. First year I ever went to Gen Con, I get into this massive hall, board games everywhere, and happened to be Mayfair had this little booth, and it had like a little discount section. I think I picked it up for like $10 or something. I don't know. It was some great deal. And I mean, let's just not talk about then how many more games I would have bought there at Gen Con. But this was the first one, and didn't know anything about it, but I thought, what the heck, I'll buy it. And I pleasantly will tell you, it happens to be one of my favorite games of all time. I really enjoy this game right here. It kind of has 3 parts to the game, where you start off where you have little figures that are kind of going into the earth, but you don't control a color. You just control the figures, so you can move any of the figures. And then once they kind of get to the center of the earth, they kind of jump on a boat or a raft together, and then you just kind of control that raft with the figures on it. And then eventually then you're trying to get back out of the earth on the third phase. The third phase is probably the least fun of the part of the game. Really, the first and second phase are really the meat and the fun of it. But it's fun. It's good, it's strategic, and I got a soft spot for it, so I'm throwing it in here. So that's going to be number 97, right? Yeah. What do we got? 100, 98, 97? No, 96. I'm already throwing everything off. Oh, well, is next. So what's going to be after that? we're going to get into number 95. And this is another two-player game. And where I just talked about Downfall just a second ago being a very long game of a two-player game, this is a little World War II game that's pretty quick. And that's Blitzkrieg. Yeah, Blitzkrieg. What can I say about Blitzkrieg? It is just a quick, fun little game where you're pulling out chits, and each of these chits have different. They might have some aircraft on there. They might have some, just some generals. They might have like a tank, and they have different colors, which are going to be one player is going to play the Americans, and one player obviously plays the Axis powers. And you're just going into these different theaters and basically kind of a tug and war on each of these theaters, trying to score victory points. And it's like, hey, the first person to get so many victory points in the game is the winner. It doesn't sound like much, but it has a lot of good interaction in it, and I really like the thought process of, do I go to that theater, or do I do this? And every time you place a token somewhere, or most of the time, you're going to get another benefit. And it's always like, well, is that benefit better than that? Maybe I get to draw some more tiles. Maybe I get to add some more points to a different theater. Really cool. If you've never tried one of these little two players, and there's a couple of others, Caesar, which is another one that's very similar that I really like a lot too. And I'll just say, this is one of those spots that I'll say I like Blitzkrieg and Caesar. And then there's a new one that just came out called Dogfight, but I haven't gotten a chance to play that one yet. That are all kind of in that similar vein. But if you like something, you're looking for something light, two-player, this is really good Blitzkrieg. All right, so now we're up to number 90, 94. Can't keep track, thinking of all kind of things. So 94, this is one of those games that surprises me that I like it. I'm not usually a big, huge fan of this designer's games. And not because they're not good games. I really think he makes good games for the most part. But for some reason, I just am not as interested in them. Maybe it's not, they don't have as much interaction as I'm kind of looking for in a Euro-y type of game. I don't know. And I'm going to tell you right now, this one is no exception. There's not a lot of interaction in this game. But I think the puzzle that I have to try to figure out in my head is where I really like this game. And that's going to be Woodcraft. All right. So Woodcraft, and I should say this, Vladimir Suchi, which is who I'm talking about, Shipyard and Pulsar, a bunch of games that I find good. I like them. They're just maybe not as high on my, in my top 100 anymore. And this is also Ross Arnold, and I think Ross Arnold did a big part of this game. And I love the puzzle in this game. I love how do I manipulate, and it's, you're trying to make your dice into figuring out how to do these different contracts, basically. But it's all like, oh, okay, how am I going to do this? I got to get this dice into this and this. I just really, really like the puzzle. And a few of my plays, one of the plays, I feel like one of my good friends played it, and he just absolutely was tortured the entire time he was playing it, which just is a funny memory for me. One of the times, my wife was ready to play this game with a couple of friends of ours, and she was like, well, let's just not even learn the rules. Let's just start. And my friend was like, not learn the rules. And he was like, he picked up like some of the, I don't even remember what he picked up, some of the wood or something. And he just rolls it and goes, oh, well, there we go. I guess I get 20 points. I don't know. It was just a funny memory. Anyways, it just has all that stuff going for it, plus a great puzzle. So that's going to be my number 94, Woodcraft. So what's number 93? Well, number 93 is a Euro game. A lot of people try to nowadays, if you know anything about me, they'll be like, he doesn't like Euros anymore. Not true. Good Euro games, I still enjoy. Woodcraft is a Euro game. Journey to the Center of the Earth, Euro game. And this next one I'm about to talk about is a pure Euro game. And it's from a, sore subject for a lot of people. This is from one of the great Euro game makers of all time that unfortunately has kind of debunked or whatever, and that's going to be Railroad Revolution from What Your Game. All right, What's Your Game? And we'll step it sideways there. Once again, not great interaction in this game. You can't even really, you can beat people to some spots, but really it's more of that puzzle. And this is where you got a whole bunch of different colored meeples. And when you go to put them on a spot, the different colored meeple will do different things when it's on a spot, depending on what color it is. And I just really, really like this game. And there's some other really great Whatcher games that I don't quite make my top 100. I still really love Dupont. I think Dupont's a really great game. You've got some older ones, Signore, and those don't quite make my top 100, but I still think they're really decent Euros. And this one's not my number one. There's one that's going to be up a little bit ahead that's still my number one, which is probably the sore subject with a lot of people. So a little spoiler, most might be, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, great game, great Euro game, and I don't even know if it's available to get anymore. By the way, I should caveat this. It was a really good game, and then they did some fixing to it, and it kind of made it an expansion, but the fixes made it an even better game. Like, I don't even know if it'd make my top 100 without those fixes. Great game. Number 94, Railroad Revolution. 93. Railroad Revolution. Woodcraft was 94. 93. Okay. 92. This is a little game that I've only played this 2-player, and I think it plays 3 to 4. It plays 3 or 4, but I've only played it 2-player, and that's called The King is Dead. This is by Pierre Sylvester, and this is kind of you're trying to collect a certain cubes, and it depends on what happens out on the map on how those values of cubes will be. And you're playing different cards to do different like attacks or adding cubes and different things like that. Including one of the actions you can take is just pass, which sometimes you do to kind of see what the opponent will do and different things. I really like this game. This is one I just said when I was making this list. I was like, I got to get this back to the table because I haven't played this in a while. I really like this one. So that one's going to jump up there and be that number 92. And that's going to be The King is Dead. So to finish off this first part of my top 100, I'm going to probably one of the best Euro designers out there. If you're talking Euros, some people be, you got Stefan Feld, you got Luciani, you've got some great ones. But I think that a lot of people will agree, one of the best Euro designers out there that people look, and that's going to be good old Rosenberg Le Havre. Oh, I've played a lot of Le Havre in my lifetime. Now, a lot of people will be like, some people will be like, I like it a lot, larger player counts. I'm one of those, 2 to 3. That's it. I'm not playing it at 4 or 5. I'm going to take one action every 2 rounds or something. I don't know. It just seems silly. And I like it at 2. I love it at 2. I like it at 3. Yes, I realize you get to see more buildings and stuff as you get higher player count, but that doesn't matter to me. I love the game. I love I could take, all these fish, or I could take all these cattle, or I could take all the coins. You always have like this, seems like a great action. It's never I guess I'll take this one, blah, blah, blah. No, it's, maybe sometimes you really need an iron or something. But anyways, it's always like something really good. And then you build these different buildings, and then these buildings are good. But then your opponent's building buildings, and sometimes you need to go to those buildings, and you got to pay them for those buildings. I think a lot of people, one thing they don't like about this game is you got to feed the people. Every round, feed the people, feed the people, feed the people. And yes, sometimes that can be kind of worn out in games, but in this one, I think it works. It gives you I would like to do all these things and build these buildings. I got to feed my people, which of course your people are going to be happy that you're trying to feed them. So if you can't feed them, you got to take loans. And loans in this game, some people will tell you the loans in this game are who cares type of thing, but you take too many loans or you got to keep doing that, it's not going to be good for you. And you can only take a loan when you can't feed people, not just at will, which I just think makes this game great. So anyways, enough my rambling. That's going to be my number 91, Le Havre. Okay, so really that's it. So now I want to just let everybody know. So how I'm doing, like I said, how I'm doing my top 100, 101. I may, like I said, combine things like Blitzkrieg and Caesar. Hey, how anybody else wants to do their top 100, that's all them. This is just how I'm kind of doing it. feel like almost I give you more games when I kind of do it this way. So anyways, so there's that. If you have never listened to Punchboard Paradise and you think, hey, maybe it might be fun to check it out, absolutely go to any one of the podcast apps or whatever. Just look at Punchboard Paradise. You can always go to our website, punchboardparadise.com. You can click on the links and get there from there. And if you like this video and you're excited about seeing more of these and more to come from me, absolutely hit that like and hit that subscribe button so that we can kind of get the views up and moving. And yeah, so we'll do that. I think that's about it. I'm checking my sheet here. I'm good. That's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.